everybody. Welcome to the Stock Car Spectacle. I'm Ian Jortson.
I'm Mike Gamble.
And I'm Nick Kinzel.
And we just got back from a crazy wild weekend at Daytona, guys. We had the Xfinity Series and the Cup Series over there. But before we dig into all that, let's start off with our Diecast of the week. Nick, what you got for us today?
Well, like I said, the last show that we did, I only brought 3 diecasts with me, so we're going to get a bunch on a repeat here, but I brought this car along with me, and it's the first race of the playoffs, and this car debuted at the first race of the playoffs. Matty D's old 95 Barstool sports car. He ran this at, Las Vegas? I want to say it was Las Vegas, which was the playoff opener the past couple of years. But yeah, a little bit of a throwback too. This car was badass. It's cool to see Barstool get involved. Boys out of a ride next year though, so a little sad, but yep, this is one of them I brought, and it looked badass.
Yep, and that is a beautiful diecast.
Absolutely.
All right, Mike, what you got?
All right. Once again, fellas, I had to borrow from the bank of Ian. Packed up all my stuff before they finally get to work on my apartment. But I do have this one in my collection as well. Ryan Blaney's number 12 Sylvania, fresh from Victory Lane at Talladega. Figured this would be a good one to play. Coming off a super speedway win this past Saturday night. Why not play his last super speedway win race version diecast?
Absolutely. Another 007 victory as well.
Yes.
Insane.
Old James Bond himself.
Oh, yeah. All right, so for my diecast of the week, guys, we're going to the Southern 500, and usually it's the throwback weekend, but they did that in the spring. A few guys are running a few throwback paint schemes, but I'm throwing it back to Kevin Harvick's Southern 500 win from last season. The throwback Busch Beer paint scheme, just absolutely beautiful on there with the mountains all over the car, old school Busch Beer can on the side, and it's just probably my favorite paint scheme from that's really hard to say because there's a lot of beautiful paint schemes from last year from Kevin Harvick, but this one takes the cake.
Oh yeah.
As usual, Harvick does not have a bad race car, especially any of the ones with Busch on there. So
absolutely. I don't know, man. Jimmy John's is gone. We're going to Subway. I don't know how that car is going to look with green and yellow.
We've already got green and yellow on right now.
Yeah,
man.
there you go, man.
I know, but
Just previewing for further events.
and I hate Subway. I just hate Subway. I think it's trash food. All right. So, Nick, how's it going over at West Virginia, buddy?
Well, this is my 3rd week here. It's pretty much just been business as usual. Tuesdays are going to be my recording nights because this is my free nights because I only have one class on Tuesdays. And it's at 11:30 in the morning. So pretty much got the day to do whatever. But yeah, it's been pretty solid. I'm used to everything by now. Like, I got a nice routine going here. But this weekend, I'm heading up to DC. We got the football opener. I'm going to meet our buddy Zach out there. West Virginia takes on the University of Maryland. And Zach and Nick take on the DC area. So that's going to be an adventure in its own.
There you go. And then September 11th weekend, we'll be making our way out to you.
The boys are back in town that weekend. Oh, man, I can't wait. It's going to be nice these next 2 weeks seeing people that I actually know. So
right.
Yeah, man, I'm excited to get back up and tear it up, man. I miss Motown. That's a great place. I can't wait to be out there.
Man.
They ain't ready for us.
They ain't ready for us, boys.
All right, guys. So let's talk Daytona. It was a wild weekend of racing, and Nick, your boy Justin Haley got the dub. He's turning out to be the super speedway king right now, and it was a great battle at the end.
So,
all 3 colored cars going 3 wide at the end. Jeb Burton and Dinger. But then Justin Haley gets it done once again at the super speedway.
You know what happened was I went on DraftKings that morning, and I had a bet slip ready to go. Justin Haley plus 800. I was ready to drop $15 on it. And right before I hit do it, I was like, I can't root for this guy to win. So then I deleted it. And of course, who takes a checkered flag? I would have won like $120 right there if I would have placed that ticket. So I'm kind of kicking myself for that. But guys, this is what happens at the super speedway races. This is college racing's house right here. They dominate the super speedways, whether it's AJ, it's Jeb, or it's Justin Haley. I hate, as much as I don't like the kid, Justin Haley has turned into a super speedway king. That dude's always up front, and college racing's just on a tear right now. Like, they cannot be stopped with Allmendinger and with Justin Haley not going to victory lane. So these guys are on a mission right now, and they're going to be scary in the playoffs.
Yeah, when it comes to any kind of super speedway racing, they've got it figured out. Anytime you look up at the end of a stage, at the end of the race, all three of those colleague cars usually running right around each other, right at the front. They hook up as a team, and they do their thing until the very end. They don't leave each other. If they get separated, they do what they got to do to get back together. They've got it figured out. It almost looks like old school DEI days when you'd see Mikey and Dale Jr. hooked up their whole race until came down to the end of the race. So whatever those guys are doing there, keep doing it. They are kicking ass.
Toyota needs to start doing that.
Yeah,
They don't like to work together at all.
Work
Super
together
speedways.
Well, the other thing about
the opposite in the Cup race.
Yeah.
The other thing about Colleague is that they're like Mike was saying, they're just one big old happy family. Like, they're just all content with just working with one another. You heard the team communications. They were like, go let Jeb Burton win that stage. What was it? Stage 2 or whatever. AJ had a run on him. AJ was behind him. And then they came over the radio and said, let the 10 car win that stage. And they're just content with it. It's just a recipe that gels well for them. That's why all three of those guys are super successful on tracks like that, because it's just family first. It's always team first. So yeah, it's crazy.
Absolutely. Yeah. They've been on the hot streak ever since Dinger got the win at Indy in the Cup race.
Yeah.
So lots of good momentum going on for them right now.
Dad won that race. The son won this race. So there you go.
That's what I like about
Jeb's like the weird uncle at this point, right?
Oh, shit.
So, yeah. So, Justin Haley's looking good. Guys, do you think that he's Cup level ready at this point? I mean, he is going Cup Series racing full-time next season. He's ran a few seasons part-time, with Spire. You think he's ready to race with the big boys?
I don't know necessarily if he's ready, but I think that college racing team is I think they're going to surprise a lot of people next year. I think they've got good equipment. They got good leaders over there with Matt Collick, Chris Rice, because you have to bet that Chris Rice is going to be the crew chief of that car next year. Mm-hmm. I just think it's going to gel well. Now, whether Justin Haley's ready for that, I don't know. I think he's going to struggle a bit to begin with. It's going to be his rookie season. Well, his rookie season because he's running with Spire, but I think they will surprise some people next year because I think that car has got good equipment under it. I mean, look at what they did with AJ Allmendinger. I know it was a road course, but still, it looks like their cars are fast. So it's going to be interesting to see how that all plays out for them next year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Guys, he does have a Cup Series win already. More than Matt DiBenedetto has in his whole career.
Oh, damn.
Sorry, I had to throw a little shot at you.
You're
there,
lucky
buddy.
I'm out here right now, and I don't want my my neighbors around me to hear me lose my mind, but you got one coming to you once I see you next week. So
yeah. But no, in all seriousness, guys, I think in my opinion, it depends on what we're talking about when we say Cup Series ready. Do I think Justin Haley's going to come in with a brand new team and be contending for wins and top 10s every week? No, I don't think so. I don't think you saw that through any of our new teams this year. Trackhouse ran well at times. 2311 has run pretty well at times, but neither one of them were up there continually running for the top 10 so far this year.
Right.
Yes, Colleague is already pre-existing organization, but they have never run a full-time Cup Series. So there's going to be a lot to learn.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to have one barrier to overcome with the new car, with everybody's back to, square one.
Yeah.
But they're still going to have to figure out the team, figure out the Cup car, figure everything out. Just like every other team, you can have all the pieces in place, but until everything gels, it's not really going to matter a lot. So I think he'll come in. I don't think he's going to embarrass himself or do anything crazy like that. But at the same time, I wouldn't expect to see them running the top 10 week in and week out.
Yeah.
No, I think for them, well, forgive me if I'm wrong here, but college racing in the Cup Series has only run road courses and super speedways. Yes. So we don't know.
Yeah, very select.
We don't know what their race car is going to look on your short tracks, your mile and a half. We just don't know that yet. So be interested to see. If I had to make a prediction right now, though, I think they're going to run right around where Trackhouse was running. Maybe low top 20s, high top 25. I think that's going to be acceptable for them next year. And
I do think though, watch out for them at the super speedways though.
Well, yeah,
Oh yeah,
like,
absolutely.
their super speedway road course program has proven to be incredible already.
Yeah.
So
Kaz Gralla this past weekend, he was looking hot at times.
So it's just, the big question is going to be the new car and whether or not how they're going to run on the intermediates and the short tracks.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys, and then going into the Cup Series race, I think this is one of the greatest things that come from the race is that we had all Rick Ware racing cars crash at the same time into each other. I mean, you couldn't have asked for anything more perfect.
And not only did they all wreck into each other in one of what was going to be one of the most exciting points in the race. Everybody's pitting under green flag. You know, you had the Toyotas all pit together, the Fords and Chevys all pitted in their times. You know, the Fords kind of had the lead back out. The Toyotas were coming back around and catching them. Things were about to get really dicey, and the idiots go bowling. So
yeah,
I mean,
I'm looking forward to 2022 when Rick Ware sells 2 of those charters and hopefully just sells all 4 of them. It's just,
I hope so.
It's a joke at this point. I mean, there are
they
times
should focus more on their IndyCar program right now because it's actually doing really well right now.
right.
Especially with a guy who wasn't really doing that well in Formula One.
Roman Grosjean? Yeah, but unrelated, he just signed for Andretti Autosport next year, so they're going to be back to square one with the driver.
They're about to put Cody Ware in that car full time.
Probably.
Oh no.
But yeah, so what a moment in the race though, you know. Talk about anticlimactic. We're getting to a point like, oh man, we see how this finally plays out. Green flag and nope.
Yep.
Well, I gotta say it worked out perfectly for the Fords because get me wrong, the Fords pitted first, correct? Or did they?
Correct.
Yeah, the Fords pitted first. Nobody knew it was the Toyotas who had yet to come, right? Or was it the Chevys?
I think it was Toyotas and Chevys.
Toyotas and Chevys
Toyota
yet to come.
kind of pit together, but typical Toyota fashion, they weren't exactly perfectly lined up. But they did get rolling because if you remember, Keselowski kind of lost the Fords for a little bit there.
Right.
He'd gone a lap down. And they were coming like a freight train for that Ford train. So.
Yeah. That caution, it worked out well for the Fords, but yeah. Rick Ware racing, man.
bound to happen that all of them would wreck together. All right. And then Nick, I'm sorry to say, your buddy Matty D racing for the lead, and then old Chase Elliott had to pull the block.
What is he doing, man?
I don't understand why he had to do that.
That was dumb.
It was not clear.
Everybody on Twitter, from what I saw, was putting that one on the 21 car. Oh man, I was losing my mind after that one. I could tell you.
Well, yeah, I wonder why.
Well, yeah, because it was Chase Elliott. If it was anybody else, then that's all I'm gonna say about it. It sucks for Matt DiBenedetto, but like I said, that team's been coming to life here these past few races. He's got 10 more to finish it out strong. Try and go get a win. I like his odds at Bristol, but yeah, it just sucked to see him miss the playoffs because that's just going to put even more of a dislikeness to the fans on Twitter towards him. So,
all right, guys, and then on a final lap push with Blaney leading. Kevin Harvick tried to get the lead. He had a good run going on, and then he just got clipped by Daniel Suarez, who was racing with Kurt Busch. Then caused the big one, ending the race in caution, and then giving Ryan Blaney his 3rd win of the season, 2nd win in a row.
Yeah.
Ryan Blaney's on a tear right now, boys. He's got a lot of momentum going into the playoffs.
Yes, he does. You know, Ryan Blaney's proving once again that he is one of, if not the best super speedway racer in NASCAR. He always seems to find his way to the front of these races at the end.
Yep.
And the thing I like with Blaney, which he does well, he kind of waits and stalks in about 3rd or 4th until he can get that run on the last lap or so. Then he knows it's go time. So, you know, the thing with the way the races are now, guys, the white flag, the next flag ends it, whether it's the yellow or the checker.
Yep.
So you get the lead on the white flag lap there. Anything can happen at that point.
Anything goes.
Yeah. So
yep.
Really excited to see my boy 12er get going here. He's really, really hot going into the playoffs here.
Best season he's had in his entire
like
career.
I was going to say, he's got to be the hottest driver in the Cup Series garage right now, minus a Kyle Larson. But but he's 2nd on the playoff grid right now. He's got some good, valuable playoff points right there that are going to help him out. So yeah, hottest guy in the garage right now. he could honestly, I know we're going to talk about it later. He could honestly be a sleeper pick to make the championship four. The way he's been running and how the tracks line up for him in these rounds. So
that's what my bracket kind of looks.
Yeah.
Anything is possible for that 12 team, but yeah, awesome to see.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, guys, wreck after wreck, Tyler Reddick, he actually was able to finish this race with a destroyed race car and getting himself into that final playoff spot. Good for him, man. He worked his ass off to get that spot.
But you know what, though? As far as I'm concerned, stupid. At the point of the going into the third stage, he was like plus like 39 or something, or whatever it was. Just stay on the track. You know, you go out there, you get mixed up in the middle of the field like that late in the race, anything could happen. You know, you could easily end up losing all those spots. And then the next thing you know, Austin Dillon goes up and finishes third or something, then you're out. You know, again, you had guys like Bubba and Matty D up there all race, Busher, all guys who were fighting to get that Cinderella win to advance. But at the same time, you got to be smart there too.
Right.
You're going up there, you put yourself in some kind of stupid situations for no reason. So I don't know if he just didn't have the information to know where he was in the points, or if their strategy was just, hey, we're going to go out there and try to win this no matter what. And, you know, we'll see where the chips lie. But if that's the case, that's pretty stupid to me.
Right. Yeah, stick with the points, because, I mean, like, anything can happen. There's a lot of times, like, these guys who are getting that final spot are going to wreck out.
Right.
All right, so then Reddick got in with that final spot, and then Chris Buescher was disqualified after an illegal track car mounting assembly. So he goes from second place to last place, and that got Bubba to second place. Ryan Blaney, Bubba Wallace, 1-2.
Could you imagine if Chris Buescher would have won that race, thinking he's in the playoffs, he's going nuts. Hey, bud, you failed tech, you're out. Oh.
And they didn't even try. Roush didn't even try to appeal it, so they knew that they got into some trouble.
Well, from what I understand, I was doing a little Twitter research and some things of that nature. It sounds like to me is what they did was they engineered that track bar to fail. So
just like from the Ford team a few years ago.
Yeah, just like that Ford team with the deck or the roof flap there.
Mm-hmm.
They and you could see there were a couple times in the race. I remember watching one of them because he's right in front of Bubba, and I think it might have been for the lead or in the top 5. But that track bar was on the track so much the sparks were coming up. It looks like he was right behind like the 4th of July fireworks.
Right.
So yeah, a little couple tidbits I read was that was by design to get that part to fail, to get the rear end of that car out of the air, go a little faster. So just another example. People sometimes ask, you know, well, how do they pass pre-race inspection and then fail post-race? Well, when you do stuff like that, that's how.
There you go. Hey, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
So
all right, everybody, we're going to take a quick break, but we'll be back with Ian's pit stop. Back to the Stock Car Spectacle. So we are going to go into Ian's pit stop now. Some top stories. The big one, I believe, we got Kurt Busch moving on to 2311 Racing. There's already been rumors going on for months that he was going to move over to that team, but it has been officially announced. He's going to be driving the number 45 Monster Energy Toyota Camry, which is cool. 45, we know that was Jordan's baseball number. He used that number when he came back from retirement in the NBA as well. So pretty cool that, you know, you got the 23 and the 45 out there for the team.
Yeah, absolutely. Big announcement. It keeps Kurt Busch in the sport, which we all want.
Multi-year deal too.
Yep, multi-year deal. This helps 2311 and Bubba Wallace so much because now you've got a championship level driver to come in, really benchmark your equipment, figure out where they can improve. And if you're Bubba, if you're not leaning all over Kurt and getting as much information as you can to better yourself and your race team as well, you're crazy.
Yep.
So this is a really, really good merger for everybody involved as far as I'm concerned.
You got a teammate that's been in the sport for 22 years.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm excited for this. This is going to help Bubba. It's going to help the entire team. You got a veteran, you got a champion joining your squad. Denny Hamlin, he hit a home run here, bringing Kurt to the team because I expect big things out of these guys in 2022, the whole organization as a whole. And so now Kurt's going to drive for all three manufacturers now, right? Ford,
Yes.
Chevy when he was with the 51, and now Toyota with
Yep.
2311.
And Dodge too, if you want.
Yeah,
And he
add
drove
that
for Dodge,
as
so he's
well.
driven for all of them now.
Yes, he has.
Now, Casey Kane has done it too, but Kurt could be the first guy to win in all
Yeah,
of them.
very true. And it's possible that team 2311, we see they're getting stronger and stronger as the year goes on. And obviously adding a veteran like Kurt Busch, who has seriously been through like what 3 or 4 different generations of like the stock car for NASCAR. So he knows change. So I think he's going to do well when the next gen car comes out next year.
Yeah, he's a true veteran. He knows what race teams need to win. He knows what it takes to get the cars to the next level. He's the guy, like you said, Ian. He's been in race cars and for the Cup Series for over 20 years now.
Yep.
So when he gets in a race car, he knows what's wrong. He knows what they need to do to get faster. You don't always get that sometimes with young drivers. You get a young driver in there. Yeah, they may know what they think the car needs, but then you make that adjustment. It doesn't quite work out the way they want, and they can be wrong too. Bubba is a younger driver, never really had the opportunity to work with a veteran teammate in a situation like he's gonna here. So I think this just benefits everybody. So cannot wait to see this team get rolling next year. Can't wait to see what that actual 45 car is gonna look like. Because I was also reading online too that's basically was their pit stop school car. They threw a couple stickers on for the video. So,
Yeah, and they said that number placement is not going to be up that far.
No.
Oh, well, we all hope so. Otherwise, oh boy.
Yeah, it's so far not a good look. All right, guys. And then Noah Gragson will be returning to Junior Motorsports next season. I think that's good. I think he does need another year in the Xfinity Series to improve his skills, but that's just great news to hear. Staying with that team, good relationship with Johnny Morris and everyone over at Bass Pro and Junior Motorsports. Love to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is, exactly what Noah needs. It's been a down year for him based on his standards. And I just think had a Cup Series ride come to fruition for him, is this really how you want to go out from the Xfinity Series on a down year? Now he's got a chance to come back, have a good year, run for the championship again. Regardless, who knows? He could get hot and go crazy here, and at this time this conversation's moot. But
exactly,
now here's a chance he could come and run well all year next year, potentially go out on top and potentially walk right into a Cup ride next year. Right. I think he's going to have every opportunity to be one of, if not the top young guy coming up to the Cup Series after next season too.
Makes you wonder now, does Junior Motorsports go to 5 full-time cars or...
And there's no limit for Xfinity.
Because I'm starting to think that more and more because we all want Michael Annett out of that race car. But that sponsorship, as long as he's got it, he's going to keep driving. So I'm starting to lean more towards now. But maybe the leg injury pushes him out. But it'll be interesting to see. But I think I'm more of a five-car team now. Bring back the 5-car or something like that. And because I know PJ McLeod owns that number right now. But
yeah. I think if anything, they'll bring back the 88 for Junior Motorsports.
That would be cool to see too. But yeah, we'll have to see what happens.
Yep. All right, guys. And then JTG Doherty Racing, they did announce that they will only be running 1 car next year. They're going to be getting rid of the 37, along with their driver, Ryan Preece. And Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is going to be their lone wolf driving that 47 car.
So a couple thoughts there. Number one, as far as I'm concerned, smart move from a team standpoint. Nick, if you want to go back to our Trevor Bayne rooting days with the Roush Fenway Racing, they went from 3 cars to 2 cars, and the team did get incrementally better when that happened. You consolidate, your assets, consolidate all the minds in the room, your money, everything is all going to one team instead of spread out amongst multiple cars then. So just inherently, the 1 car they're going to run is going to run better. In my opinion, at least. How much better? We don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. Again, new car next year kind of throws everything up in the air. Right. So it kind of stinks for Ryan Preece. I think he's a much more talented race car driver than he gets to put on display week in and week out.
Maybe this will open up some opportunities for him, though.
So,
yeah.
Every time you turn around, he's winning,
I mean, look at him when he ran
racing.
3 Xfinity races with Joe Gibbs Racing a few years ago. He won 2 out of the 3, and he dominated those races. And one of those wins were at Bristol too. A difficult track. So kid's got talent. He's just put in the wrong car.
I think I know what's going to wind up happening to Ryan Preece here. First off, I want to say I think that this move is going to help out JTG Doherty Racing. Brad Doherty said it best himself. They're focused on putting a competitive car out on the racetrack, and having a 2-car team for a team that doesn't run up towards the top every week. It's just, you're funneling more money into a bad team is pretty much what he was saying. So I like the move here, and Ricky Stenhouse's been all right with JTG Doherty Racing, but he's always had that second car while he's been there. So I do think that they could surprise some people next year, maybe move up, competing for top 15s more and more. But here's the thing where I'm at with Ryan Preece. If I'm Tony Stewart, I'm putting that man in that 98 car down in the Xfinity Series, because we've seen Ryan Preece. He's under the KHI management. He ran for DGR Crossley in the trucks earlier this year. What did he do? He went out and he won races. Put the man in good equipment. He's going to go out and he's going to win races. So if nothing opens up at the cup level for him, then I'd put him in the 10 car, but Almirola with the Smithfield and everything, you just don't see that happening. But if I'm Tony Stewart, I'm putting that kid in the 98 car, and he's going to do a hell of a lot better than Riley Herbst is going to do. They're going to get back to winning multiple races like Chase Briscoe did in that race car.
I think that would be the best bet for him, man. Put him in a really, really competitive car, a car that won 9 races last season. I think he could probably almost do the same damn thing. I think that he has that much talent. We'll see.
We'll see.
All right, guys. Well, that will do it for Ian's pit stop. We're going to take another short break. But, guys, when we come back, Kinzel's Classroom is back in session, and we're going to be talking playoffs. We'll see you right back.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Stock Car Spectacle here. Professor Kinzel over here. You know what that means? Saddle up, boys. Class is back in session. We got another edition here of Kinzel's Classroom. And you boys know what time it is. It is time for the playoffs to kick off. This is, once the playoffs roll around every single year since we've been doing this show, Kinzel's Classroom Playoff Edition has been some of my favorite. I think it brings out great discussion. So, yeah, here we go. For those of you who don't know how this is going to work today, it's playoff time. So what today's agenda is, we are going to break down the round of 16 here. The racetracks are going to be visiting. And at the end, we are going to have our first 4 drivers out of the playoffs, and we're going to have our 12 advancing to the round of 12. So let's look at the 4 drivers now who are currently at the bottom, who are on the outside looking in. You've got Michael McDowell, Daytona 500 winner. You got Eric Almirola, New Hampshire winner. You got Tyler Reddick, who barely got in, and then this has got to just be weird for Ian to see. He was the regular season champion in 2020. He finished the season with 9 wins, and here's Kevin Harvick, the 16th seed in the playoffs right now. Ian, what's going on, man? How does this make you feel?
I'm sometimes pinching myself every time I look at this, that really he is the 16th seed. Statistically, Tyler Reddick did better than us. I don't know, man. This has been the worst season ever as a NASCAR fan.
It's been the worst season ever yet. He only has 6 top 5s, but he's still got 16 top 10s. So, but no wins. That's just you're coming off of a 9-win season, and here we are, 10 races to go, and you've yet to find victory lane.
I'm hurting.
So, all right, let's get down to business here, boys. Round 1 tracks where we visit Darlington first for the Southern 500 year. and we're off to Richmond. And then, oh, baby, Bristol night race as the cutoff race here in the round of 16. So you got 3 unique racetracks in their own. You got Darlington that's shaped like an egg. You got Richmond as your flat short track, and then you got Bristol. All hell breaks loose.
Oh yeah.
So let's go down the list here. Let's get 2 guys out of the way right now that I'm pretty sure all 3 of us on our brackets do not have advancing to the round of 12. I'm going to start with Michael McDowell and Eric Almirola here. Guys, let's be real. Michael McDowell is in this playoffs because he won the Daytona 500. He was nowhere close in points, and he's just not going to have the speed to hang. He's good at Bristol, but I do not see the 34-car wing at Bristol, and I just don't think he's got the speed at Darlington and Richmond to even contend. And then Eric Almirola, we know Stewart-Haas Racing has been down as an organization this entire season. Eric Almirola was 28th in points before that New Hampshire win. Yeah, he might have went out, he dominated it, but that one win is what got him in the playoffs, where he's still like 25th in points. We know Almirola doesn't have the speed. So let's just start there. Can we almost lock it in that those 2 guys aren't going to advance to the round of 12?
Oh, absolutely. And if you remember when Michael McDowell won that Daytona 500, like a few races, like 2-3 races, he was having a hot streak going on too. We're like, oh my God, is he actually going to like maybe stay consistent? But no, Michael McDowell kind of started going down and started doing the same old thing.
Had the summer slump. The summer slump, he just ran like he usually ran. So.
Yeah. And then Eric Almirola, I mean, come on. It's Eric Almirola. The guy, I'm going to be honest, the guy does not have that much talent. I was really shocked when he dominated New Hampshire. That was probably one of the most shocking things I've seen all season.
I just don't think any of these tracks are an Eric Almirola type racetrack.
Not one.
Darlington, hell no. Richmond, he doesn't run well there, and Bristol's Bristol. Anybody can run good at Bristol, really, but he doesn't. So I think that's why you got to put him as almost an easy lock to miss.
Yeah,
I think the only outside chance they have of advancing to the next round, which would be one of, not both of them, would be something along the lines of, you've got some younger guys like a Christopher Bell, like a Tyler Reddick, who both at times have the tendency to be aggressive. You can get into the BS at Darlington. You can get into the BS at Bristol. And a lot of times, looking at you once again, Rick Ware Racing, anything can and will happen on that racetrack. So all you have to do is be behind the wrong guy when a tire goes down, have a mechanical failure, and the next thing you know, you're on the outside looking in, or the inside looking out in the case of one of these guys. So I think the only chance either one of those 2 have of moving on to the next round would be something crazy like that happening.
Yeah.
The points at the cutoff right now, they're quite close. So either one of those guys gets off to a hot enough start, like Eric Almirola pulls the miraculous top 5 out of his ass at Darlington. He's only like 10 to 12 points out right now of that cutoff. So it's close, but yeah, I just don't see that happening. So we're gonna say those 2 aren't advancing. So now I got a list of drivers here that you can almost put in that category. So for the next 2 spots out, for the last 2 spots out here, I got drivers of Alex Bowman, William Byron, Kurt Busch, Christopher Bell, Tyler Reddick, and even Kevin Harvick. Those are guys that those are your maybes. It could go their way, it could not go their way, because the guys like Kyle Larson, Blaney, Truex, Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott, Denny Hamlin, Joey Logano, and Keselowski, I like their odds moving forward into the round of 12. So let's talk about guys like Bowman, the Byrons, the Kurt Busches, the Christopher Bells, the Reddicks, and the Harvick.
Can I jump in on one thing real quick, Nick?
Go for it.
I would not be so sure about that 2 car if I was y'all. Once again, he is moving on to a new team next year. Once again, both of his teammates are in the playoffs, and both of them are in better positions than him going into the playoffs. We're pretty used to Ryan Blaney being the redheaded stepchild at Penske Racing. Right. I think that might be Mr. Keselowski for the last 10 races of the year. So, this round does have some good tracks for him, but I would not be surprised if he's on the outside looking at these competition meetings. And I would not be surprised to see that we don't see the speed in the 2 that we're used to seeing, and all the resources going to the 12 and the 22.
All right, so let me just ask you guys this then. Who are your other 2 guys out? Who do you guys have out right now?
Right now, my 2 other guys out. I would have to say it would be Tyler Reddick and Christopher Bell. Tyler Reddick, just because I don't think he's going to have the stuff to compete with everyone else, to be honest. RCR is getting up there, but not there yet. And then Christopher Bell, I feel like we haven't really seen too much from him since he got his Daytona road course win. He's been there, but I feel like he's always kind of running like, I don't know, top 15. So I don't know. I don't see him making it into the round of 12.
See, I almost want to disagree about the Tyler Reddick part. I think we're coming up to 2 racetracks that are Tyler Reddick racetracks. Darlington is a predominantly top racetrack. Yeah, it might be almost one groove, so it can be tough to pass there. I like Tyler Reddick at Darlington, and I love Tyler Reddick at Bristol, another top predominant racetrack, and the 8 car comes to life there. So yeah, so I actually kept Tyler Reddick into the round of 12.
Okay.
I tend to agree with Ian here. I think Tyler Reddick's aggressiveness is what will get the better of him. And I think there's some guys in front of him that are veteran drivers. We're going to some tracks where mechanical grip and mechanical, what's the word I'm looking for here? Know-how, I guess, are going to play in a little more than aerodynamics will. And I think that also plays well into the veterans. So a guy like a Kurt Busch, who's right around the bubble, I like his odds. He's been to these racetracks. Mm-hmm. He's won at a couple of these racetracks. He knows what he's got to do to stay consistent and stay out front here. I think that plays well for a guy like a Joey Logano. Some of those guys right around the bubble. The only thing, again, with Byron and Bowman would be if they had some craziness happen. The Hendrick cars have been so fast this year. I think if they just go out there and run average for them, they'll be okay. I think that leaves Christopher Bell, which, again, like you said, Ian, we don't really know what we're going to get from him. Mm-hmm. So that being said, that only leaves, in my opinion, one guy. There's one oddball on the outside looking in. I think, and I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying with Tyler Reddick, it's going to go one of 2 ways. He's going to go out there and run incredible, or he's going to just drive over his head and put it in the fence and just kind of crash in flames. So
yeah. RCR, remember Austin Dillon's little magical round of 16 run last year? We all had Austin. Did he make it to the round of 12 last year? I think he did because he ran top 5 at both. I almost think he ran top 5 at all 3 racetracks in the round of 16.
He got second at Darlington.
He got second at Darlington, ran well. So I'm just saying, I think I like RCR's odds there because now we're going to go into my other 2 guys out here. I have Kurt Busch and Kevin Harvick out after the round of 16.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Here's why, though. Kurt Busch. So Darlington is a good track for Kurt. Obviously, he's got wins there. So I think that's going to be his best race of the round. But Richmond is not a good racetrack for Kurt. He doesn't run well there. His last top 10 there came in 2017. Yeah, round of 16. You don't necessarily need to run top 10 every week, but you if you're banking on finishing 13th to 17th, you can put yourself in some trouble there if some guys below you, like a Tyler Reddick or like a Christopher Bell, they go out there and they have better runs than you. I'm worried about Kurt. He went out and he dominated Atlanta, but that was the 1.5 mile package. I don't know how I feel about Kurt. With the speed of Chip Ganassi racing,
going in right
he's
now.
got the momentum, but like I said, I got some upsets here, and he's my first one because you never know with these NASCAR playoffs. And then my reasoning for Harvick is just the lack of speed out of Kevin Harvick. Darlington looks promising. Richmond earlier in the year finished 24th. Had a bad run there. Bristol's going to be hit or miss for him. I really do think he'll make it in, and I'm going to be wrong, but I just think that whole organization lacks speed, and just that team is just missing something. They're not gelling like that 4 team used to gel. So if I had he's going to be the real shock here, and when he misses the round of 12. It's gonna be crazy first round, and I think I just don't know.
You know, I would almost have to agree with you. My last guy out came down to, in my opinion, Harvick or Reddick. And the only reason I gave the nod to Harvick is, once again, we are going to some tracks that he's been very good at. And again, these are tracks where the aerodynamics aren't going to be as big a factors of his mechanical grip and how they set up the race car. I trust Rodney Childers a little more in that situation than I do whatever's going to be going on in the 8 camp. So I think also too, Kevin's got the veteran know-how to know that all he's got to do is go up there and be consistent. Again, like we've said, anything can happen. You can get caught up in the wrong place at the wrong time. I just think Tyler Reddick's got a little more of a propensity to put himself in those situations where Kevin won't.
You just wait till he wins half the playoff races and wins the cup, just like Smoke did.
You
just wait.
I don't know about that speed, man. The speed's just not there. Like, he's going from dominating races a year ago to running 11th to 17th. Like, even like we thought he was going to go out and win Michigan. He ran 14th. Like, it's not good enough. So I think the veteran in him is going to be enough to get him out of the round of 16. But come that round of 12, making it into the round of 8, that's where I think things are going to get difficult if he's able to survive, because that's when you're going to have to start putting together top 5 runs week in and week out. But yeah, it's a round of 16. Anything can happen. We've seen guys who are favorites go down early, and you just don't know. So yeah, that's gonna be my big shock, though, is that Kevin Harvick going to go from 9 wins a year ago to missing the round of 12.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's where I think Harv is going to be in trouble, is in the round of 12. Like you said, Nick, and this is something I've noticed all year. We've had 3, 4, 5, 6 different times we've been on here talking about, this is a really good track for Kev. He can really get it going here. And he runs okay, or he runs fine, but it doesn't come out and put on his clinic like we're normally used to him seeing, or even really be up there contending for the wins at some of those tracks. We thought New Hampshire was going to be a great race for him. We thought Michigan could be a great race for him. We've had 4 or 5 different times we've said this already in the year, and he just isn't there. Honestly, I think he'll have enough speed to get through this round, but like you said, and I agree wholeheartedly, you get to the next round where the 12th, 13th, 14th of those races isn't cutting it. I think that might be it for the 4 team.
It's just going to take all it's going to take. He's got no playoff points, if I'm correct, right? No playoff points. All it's going to take is a bad pit stop. A loose lug nut. He blows an engine in one of those races, and he is in a hole. So I'm worried about the 4 team. So yeah, he's gonna be one to watch for sure.
Yay!
So this is the first year as a Ryan Blaney fan I can actually breathe in the round of 12 a little.
Well, yeah, I remember last year's playoffs. I had Ryan Blaney out in the round. I had almost same boat. I didn't have Ryan Blaney making the round of 12. And now this year, he's up there sitting second on the playoff grid. I don't have a worry in the world for him. Yeah, he's going to Richmond, where he kind of sucks at, but
that's his worst track.
He's got the points. He's just got the points right now that could get him through.
That's exactly that. The thing is, he is in a good enough spot where he can just run top 15, top 20 at Darlington, top 15, top 20 at Richmond. And he's pretty decent at Bristol.
Yeah.
If he can go out of Bristol and run in the top 10, I think not only does he advance the next round, but he's sitting really pretty going into the round.
Well, that's another track for him, like how Daytona's been so unlucky to him these past few years, where he's finishing second and everything. Bristol's that track. That's the next track for him. He's leading up there. He's leading laps in that race, and then he's getting taken out in a wreck. Yeah. That's what we've seen that happen to Blaney numerous times at Bristol. So yeah, not a worry in the world for that 12 car. Easily can go out and win that race. But yeah, so we all kind of got our round of 12 locks here. Like I said, round of 16, it's you kind of know who's going to make it, who's not going to make it, but you never know what's going to happen. I can't wait for when we get to the round of 12, because that's where the real debate's going to begin here. And the round of 12 is it's such a wild card round. You have Vegas, Talladega, and the freaking Roval. Those are your 3 tracks in the round of 12. So that's going to be a fun one.
That's going to be a wild round.
That's going to be crazy. And that's where you can see some of these top guys fall, and you can see some of these bottom guys prevail. So that's how you got to love these playoffs. The system might suck at some point, but it is goddamn entertaining. That is for sure. So round of 12 is locked, boys. And if you guys don't have anything else, class dismissed.
All right, everybody. We'll be right back with our Darlington preview. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stock Car Spectacle. We are going to finish up the show with our Darlington preview. And first up, we got the Xfinity Series on Saturday. It's a Sports Clips 200 to 200 mile race. Stages 1 and 2 are 45 laps each. And the final stage is 57 for a total of 147 laps. Some notables in this race. We got Denny Hamlin. He's always running the Xfinity Series race here at Darlington. In the fall, he'll be in the 54 for Joe Gibbs Racing. Tyler Reddick's going to be in the 23 car for Our Motorsports. And then Austin Dillon will be in the 31 for Jordan Anderson Racing. Guys, last year's winner, we had Brandon Jones. He won the race after Denny Hamlin and Ross Chastain tangled on the closing laps. And most current driver wins, Denny Hamlin. He's got 5 wins in the Xfinity Series here at Darlington. Most team wins is Joe Gibbs Racing with 11. And most manufacturer wins is Ford with 20 wins in this race. All right, guys. So, Mike, who are you going to pick to win this race on Saturday?
So somebody we know that's usually aggressive, usually likes to get up front here. And I think having that composite body on the race cars as opposed to the Cup Series body is going to help out a lot here is going to be Tyler Reddick. Tyler Reddick's been fast here. I think this is a race where, his experience at this track and the Xfinity cars plays well for him. So I'm picking Tyler Reddick to go to victory lane.
Yeah, I mean, not a bad pick at all. Like you said, he loves to run that wall. They got the composite body, so he can tear it up a little bit. So, yeah, I think he'll have himself a good race.
Yes, sir.
Nick, who you got to win the Xfinity Series race?
Well, my pick has 0 wins in the Cup Series right now, but he will get a win in 2021. He's going to come in the Xfinity Series. I'm picking the 54 of Denny Hamlin. Guy's got 13 starts here in the Xfinity Series. Worst finish of 38th just because he got disqualified. His actual worst finish here, other than that, is 8th. He's got 5 wins here. Dude just loves this racetrack, just knows how to get around it. And the 54 car, doesn't matter who's driving it. That car is always up at the front winning races. And Denny Hamlin's just the next guy in line. So Hamlin's going to get his first win of 2021 right here. And I think it's going to count towards my money bet.
No. Sorry, buddy.
Let me have just something, man.
It doesn't work like that.
You could take $25 off. I'm fine.
I have a bologna sandwich. I'll give that to you.
I just need something, man. I'm struggling.
Sorry, bud.
All
right, so for my pick for the Xfinity Series race, I got to go with your boy Nick. Mr. Daniel Hemrick finished 5th here last year. Or not earlier this year, I mean to say. So, I mean, I know his teammates in the race. I know Denny's probably going to dominate the whole thing, but we'll see. He's looked pretty good this year. I still think that win's coming for him.
I ain't about it, man. Every time somebody picks that man on this show, something goes horribly wrong. Most notably, the Atlanta race. Dalton Good picked Daniel Hemrick to win the race. Look at what happened there. Dalton, you still got one coming for that one. But, yeah, I'll take a top 5. That's all I want. I know that 54 is going to dominate that race. Just give me a top 5, please. I'll take the win. Don't get me wrong. I'll take the win. Yeah. I am just not getting my hopes up. I don't like them at this racetrack. Just give me a top 5.
All right. So, guys, let's move on to the Truck Series race that is going to be on Sunday afternoon. It's the Lift Kits for Less 200-mile race. Stages 1 and 2 are 45 laps each, and the final stage is 57 for a total of 147 laps. Some notables in this race. We got Josh Berry in the 25 Rackley WAR truck, and Parker Kligerman going to be in the Henderson Motorsports 75. And guys, old Storm and Norman in the 6 truck. Come on.
Norm.
I'll take him at plus 50,000 on DraftKings. I like my odds.
There you go. And then last year's winner, your boy, Mr. Ben Rhodes, got the dub at Darlington. So, guys, who's your pick to win? Nick, let's start off with you for the Truck Series.
Well, guys, this is only the third time in the last 10 years the Truck Series is visiting Darlington. And I just think consistency is going to prevail for him here. I'm taking the 88 truck of Matt Crafton. I think of a guy like Matt Crafton, I just always think consistent. And Matt, he's run this track numerous times. Like I said, this series has only ran here 3 times in the last 10 years, but Matt's also ran this track 5 other times. So I like the consistency here, and I think Matt Crafton punches his ticket in the next round.
All right, not a bad pick at all. Mike?
All right, guys. Like Nick said, Truck Series only run here 3 times in the last 10 years or so. Ben Rhodes has only been around for 2 of those races. And in those 2 races, he's got to win in a top 5. He came in as one of the championship contenders. I'm going to keep riding that pony to the ground, boys and girls. 99 victory lane once again at Darlington.
There you go. I'm kind of sticking with the same theme. A winner in the past at Darlington. I got to go with last year's champ, Mr. Sheldon Creed. Another year where he's being very consistent. And I think he'll get the win here. He looked really good earlier this year and last year. All right, so then let's move on to the Cup Series race, the big Southern 500 on Sunday evening. We got a 500-mile race. Stages 1 and 2 are 115 laps each, and the final stage is 137 for a total of 367 laps. Last year's winner was my boy Kevin Harvick getting it done in that throwback Busch Beer paint scheme. Most wins by a current driver is tied with Kevin Harvick and Denny Hamlin with only 2 wins. Most team wins is Hendrick Motorsports with 11 wins, and most manufacturer wins is Chevy with 27. Guys, my pick to win the Southern 500, I got to go with Kyle Rowdy Busch. At Darlington, he's got 1 win, 6 top 5s, and 13 top 10s. I think he'll get it done here at Darlington. Old school track for a veteran driver. He's going to get it done. All right, Mike, who you got?
All right, I'm going to stay in the same team, but I'm going to go 1 number higher to the 19 car of Martin Truex Jr. MTJ is always super fast here, always one of the guys who's up front challenging for the win. We saw Truex kind of have some success early in the season, kind of had, the summer slump and really just kind of been good, not great lately. He could really use a win. This is a good track for him to kind of get going in the playoffs here. So I'm picking the 19 to go to victory lane.
All righty. Nick, who you got for the Southern 500?
I'm also staying in the Gibbs camp, and I took him as my Xfinity win. I think he's finally going to get the monkey off of his back here. He's got to be fired up right now, still over what happened at the Indy Road Course with Chase Briscoe, not winning at Daytona, losing the regular season championship to Kyle Larson after having such a big lead. I think that just motivates him. It fires him up. I'm going with the 11 car, Denny Hamlin here. He might not have won races so far this year. He's still running consistent, top 5s, top 10s, but it's time to get that win. And it's a good track for Denny, not only in the Xfinity Series, but the Cup Series as well. He's actually got 3 wins here. And he's got 10 top 5s, 14 top 10s. I just think the monkey comes off the back here, and we're gonna see 2020 Denny Hamlin come back out, and that 11 car is gonna win this race.
Okay.
And I'm finally gonna get some
Southern
money.
500 wins, not Darlington.
Okay. Well, he got 3 wins at Darlington.
All right, guys. Well, you got anything else to add before we end the show here?
Playoffs, baby. It gets real now.
They are here.
Yeah. Hope to finally get a money win this week, but
we'll see about that. Xfinity don't count, buddy.
Shit.
All right, everybody. Well, thanks for tuning in to the Stock Car Spectacle this week. Make sure to like our video and subscribe to our channel. Make sure you hit the bell so you get notifications every time we upload new content. Make sure to check out our merchandise on Spreadshirt.com. All designed by our good buddy Dalton Good. Got hats, shirts, sweatshirts, stickers, anything else you want. Go check out the link below. We'll have it up there. Make sure to follow me, Nick, and Mike on Twitter, along with the Stock Car Spectacle accounts. Make sure to tune into the Gamblers Picks this week. I know it's going to get a little dicey with Darlington. It's always a good one. Make sure to check out Koto's Mojo with me, Adam Cornwell, and Patrick Koto as we give you weekly sports updates. I know we'll be back in the studio soon. Mr. Koto has been very busy as of late, but we'll get back soon. So, guys, thanks for tuning into the Stock Car Spectacle. I'm Ian Jortson.
I'm Mike Gamble.
And I'm Nick Kinzel.
And we'll see you guys next week.